We're here at the Wichita County EOC, where we've stood up a unified command between the city and the county to deal with pending flood issues that are approaching the city but also affecting the county as well. I'll touch briefly about some times. We are going to start notifying residents within the city and also in the county. Sheriff Duke will talk about the county, but within the city we're looking at floodwaters starting to affect the areas that happened in 2007, starting about 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. That's when the floodwaters will start rising and affecting streets and homes. We're looking at a midnight tomorrow night as far as actual flooding occurring into homes. We anticipate the peak to be around 9 o'clock on Friday. So one thing that we want to urge residents is that we're going to be proactive in this. Starting here in the next hour or two, we're going to go to the residents in around the Duncan in the east side area as well as Tanglewood, and we'll be going door to door notifying residents as well as sending out a code red and a NIXL alert. We want to urge residents not to wait to the last minute. We will have a mandatory evacuation of the city of Wichita Falls affected areas at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. If you live in the affected areas that you receive notification for, you would be required to be out of your house and evacuated by then. I want to tell everybody that we've got a phone number that you can call for any additional information. That's at the Emergency Operations Center, and that number is 761-7909. And as far as operations within the city, we're working, we'll have a command post set up in the affected areas, and we'll have 2 sets of teams of police and fire work in those areas throughout the night and as well throughout the whole event. Chief Borrego will be helping as well with his folks. Police will be helping fire department notify all the residents and also securing the areas. One thing that we do want to touch on is those that have pets. We do have the ability to shelter your pets or find places for them, so don't use that as an excuse not to evacuate. Right now I'll turn it over to Sheriff Duke, who will speak as far as what's happening in the county, and then we'll take questions.
One of the things that we want to stress that to the county residents, particularly in the Wrangler's Retreat area and the Horseshoe Bend Estates area, that this prediction of the flood is not just a what if it happened, it is going to happen. We've been down this road before in 2007, as many other times in the last 30 years, and if you're a new resident in those areas, you need to start making preparations now to evacuate. We had evacuations in the Pleasant Valley area today off of Huntington and 367 areas. We had to move, probably help get people out of about 15 homes, to include some invalids that couldn't get out of the houses, to elderly persons. If you know someone that lives in these affected areas in the county, such as Wrangler's Retreat or Horseshoe Bend Estates, please start making contact or ways to evacuate these people. The same with animals. If you have animals or livestock that you need to get out, the number you can call for to be able to get the help to get the animals put in a place at the city, so that way there's not an excuse to, I don't want to move out of here because my animals are here. We'll remind everybody as this continues to rise, don't drive through the floodwaters. Between the city and the county, we have specialized vehicles that can drive through the high water, as well as boats from the games wardens and the fire department of Wichita Falls. So just very important, please understand, this is not a it might happen, it's going to happen. And we want everyone to get out safely now while they can, start evacuating for the mandatory evacuations. And if you're staying at your property under the mandatory evacuations, we will escort you out of those places, and we don't want to do that. We want you to be able to get out. There's a reason why you need to get out. So it's a very dangerous situation that's going to occur. We want everyone to be safe and be able to get out of it. And the areas outside of the Wrangler's Retreat and Horseshoe Bend Estates in the county, we could possibly have some flooding on the east side of Wichita Falls in the county as well. So we'll have to monitor those areas on the River Road area. the Cameron Gardens area to make sure that we don't have any major issues over there. If they do, we will be there to react accordingly to help evacuate persons. So once again, just please residents of the county, because the Horseshoe Bend Estates and Wrangler's Retreat will be the first affected areas before it gets in the city of Wichita Falls. And we're warning you now that it's going to happen. So please start making preparations to evacuate your residents if you're in the flood zones and those two affected neighborhoods. I'm going to turn it over now to Chief Borrego of the Wichita Falls Police Department.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the mandatory evacuation. It's extremely important to understand that. I know it's difficult for people to leave their homes, but it's going to be a significant event with the flooding in that particular area. Power is going to be shut off to those homes in that affected area. We have brought on additional police officers that will be working the affected area to make sure that your homes are protected while you're away from it. So rest assured that we will be out there watching for your house, make sure that it's all your properties protected while you're away. Thank you.